Welcome to InspirHere, and you are with Queen and
Shivali Patel.
yes, so we are back again on our podcast, and today's topic would be about engineering powerful habits successfully, and we are with the experts herself.
I wouldn't
So,
necessarily call myself an expert, but I did write a book on it.
yes, say the
Yeah.
girl who read a book on it.
Yes.
So on our first episode, we were also discussing on a little bit on the habits as well. So as we were agreeing on that, it's quite important for us to have the habits. So we're bringing this topic back, and yeah, I leave the stage to you now. I'm gonna put you on the solo.
No. I was gonna start with a good question to you actually, is
Okay,
like,
okay.
what do you feel is a habit? Like, how would you define a habit?
When you do something consistently, yes,
Okay.
it has to be positive, bringing in your life. Consistently doesn't mean it have to be like every single day. Let's say you could decided to do this for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and if you able to maintain for years, then it's amazing too. But overall, for me, how I see it, that it has to be positive activities. Yes.
Okay. So the way that I see it is like habits ebb and flow. They come
Mm-hmm.
and go in your lifetime. And while you would like the ideal thing to be that they last for a lifetime, right? Especially something like going to the gym,
Yes.
I also don't consider all habits to be positive in nature. So you can have bad habits, right? If you're um, constantly smoking something that's
Mm-hmm.
counterintuitive to your health, right? It's still a habit at the end of the day, but it's something that is triggered by some sort of cue that you end up doing automatically when that cue happens.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's something that triggers that within you, then I would see that as a habit. And so when it's a habit, it can be performed consistently, but it's not so much that it's an everyday thing or it's for a lifetime, but it's more so for a X amount of period, you have something that's just automatically being performed. So the habit itself, I my philosophy on it is there's a whole process to the actual formation of a habit. So when you have a formation of a habit, you have your initial cue, and then you have something that is almost like a craving that's created from that trigger. And then once that craving occurs, you have the actual action you take. So that's the repetition that you are doing, which in turn will lead to a reward. So when you are starting to form a habit, I think it's a lot about who you are and what works for you. It's not a set process that works for everyone. Yes, you have the basic formation of a habit, but it's also what internally and externally motivates you, right? So, internally, what do you feel gets you going? Is it fear? Because if it's fear, then maybe it's like the fear of, I don't know, not making enough money, then you're trying to overwork yourself and make several income streams. Or maybe it's the fear of not or of being lonely, right? Then you're going out and you're trying to be more proactively social, whether that's by yourself and placing yourself in uncomfortable situations so you can feel and expand as a person in a social aspect, or if it's something such as spending money. Some people feel like they need to spend money on something to actually want to use it. So if it's just a free plan, it's not going to work for them. But if they've spent some money on it, then they find value in it. So identifying those things is important. But even before that internal and external motivation happens, it's also about your core set of beliefs. So, Queenie, for you, I see that you've put me on full screen.
I'm back. I was
I,
just enjoying listening to you.
I was gonna say for you, like,
Mm.
do you feel that your core values really align with the habits that you have?
Yes, at the moment it does, but before it was not. It's really the matter of time because we change, develop, and grow, and get to understand ourselves better each day, right? So
Mhm.
let's say that the certain point of time that I am in my life, the habits are aligned with what I wanted to do, with my core value, what I believe in, and my vision and my goals. But
Mhm.
before that, I was just doing it because the pressure or the belief from the society. Because when we were young, we didn't have this individual thoughts and belief as much as we are a little bit older with experiences in the world. So now it has changed, yes, for just a couple of years, like the past 2 3 years. And like me personally, I am interested in helping children, focusing on kids, and um, support like sustain items, products, eco products, and so on. So I can see that now what I'm doing at a certain point of my life, all the habits that I'm creating, that I have regularly, vegan diet. Once in a while, if it's not diet, then I would eat organic, and then I started to have my salad garden, which you have to taking care of it every single day. And then I read the book, like food for thoughts, like books, videos, listening to other podcasts that actually support my visions and my goals that I wanted to achieve at the process of having this human experience. Yes. So it just had changed recently. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's awesome that you do a lot of habits that foster that growth, you know?
Mhm.
And when you're focusing on things that kind of water the
Mhm.
seeds you want to plant, it creates this craving, right? That I was talking about earlier, that feeling of fulfillment. But fulfillment also stems from your core values and beliefs. And so, where I was going earlier is if your goals or what you want to implement in your life, your habits, right, that you want to implement, they don't line up very well with your values and your beliefs, then you're going to have a very hard time maintaining those, wouldn't you say?
Yes, that's true. That's true. Like for example, because we both met at the competition, right?
Yes,
But
yeah.
I'm not the kind of person who enjoy exercising a lot. But because at that time I have my goal, so then I have to go for training, running, cardio, weightlifting.
Wait. Hold on. So, not everybody that's listening to this might know where Queenie and I met.
Oh,
So
yes.
I feel like we should
What are you
probably
guys talking about? What competition?
yeah. So it was a
Oh,
food
yes.
eating competition. I'm kidding. Queenie and I we both actually competed for a competition called Miss Supranational, and so it's in the realm of beauty pageants, but it is a lot more than simply about beauty. And I'm not going to feed you some line about it's beauty on the inside that matters. It's not that. It's really cool. There's so many different layers to it, and so it was really the kind of prep that was very what do you call it, 360. It was very 360, right?
Well,
I mean,
well-rounded. Hmm.
very, very well rounded. And so, what she's talking about is us meeting at that competition because she was Miss Supranational Thailand 2021, and I was Miss Supranational United States
Oh,
2021. So,
yeah. That's where our love blossoms.
yes, yes, that's where we formed this beautiful partnership. So, that's what she was talking about. But yeah, I think that competition itself is an excellent example of how things that you wouldn't maybe consistently do
Mhm.
somehow find the motivation because you have an incentive to do something, right?
Yes. Yeah, like the goals, because you have to have like the fitness body basically. You have to be healthy and in shape, and then we work so many hours those during the competition. So I was training a lot, you as well. But like you, until today, you still go to the gym, you still enjoy spending time at the gym, but I don't do
Yeah.
that. I do go for jogging, but I don't do weightlifting anymore, those kind of thing. And I'm focusing more now on breathing exercise like yoga, slower, not pumping
Yeah.
so much. So it really depends on if you have your goals, and if you do have your goals, and it's also if you have short term or long term goals, then the habits will align to support that. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Uh, in terms of like short-term goals and long-term goals, I think it is a lot easier to maintain if they align with your values. But I think let's talk about bad habits, right? I think my I would
You have
say doesn't everybody have bad habits? I don't think it's possible to not have a bad habit. I mean, that's just me. Do you think it's possible to not have a bad habit?
you could get rid of it. I mean, not get rid of it, but you develop and you change your
So you
you
don't
re-
believe you
huh?
don't believe it's possible to eliminate a bad habit then?
Hmm. Well, but the thing is that there's a book that was saying that your cells they regenerate, right?
Yes, yeah.
So I actually do things that it's possible because, but then I don't know. Okay, now I'm like debating with myself. But anyways, I'm not gonna find how, but I know like at the end of the day, you are the boss of your own life, so you can decide what to do with it. If you
Oh, that's such a
not to,
politically correct answer, though. That's like a, "Oh, but you can decide if it's a bad habit or not," you know? But I see, personally, I think we all do things that are kind of detrimental to what we want to achieve. Like, for example, January 2023,
mm,
everybody's gonna set a goal of some sort,
to the
and
gym.
a percentage of those people will actually follow through on it,
Yeah,
right? And
yes.
it's not because they're not determined, but maybe because bad habits are a bit more stronger in intent, right?
Mm.
You enjoy maybe going to the movies more or being social or going out for
Yeah.
drinks. And those things are all great if done in moderation,
Mhm,
maybe, right? However, when our pull is towards one thing
mhm.
over the other, then it becomes a lot more harder, right?
Yeah, so you have to
And
find the right balance. I
you,
think you can do any of those as long as, like you say, you moderate it and then you aware of what you are doing, and if you have the goals, then what would be the way for you to maintain it? Do you have to have certain of like post it everywhere for you to see, like at the refrigerator, at the bathroom mirror, to remind yourself? I don't know, like there's so many simplest way to get yourself into this program, right? Into the
yeah.
creating, maintaining the habits. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's also just dependent on you, since you are the creator of your life, because
Yeah.
some people are visual learners, right? So
Mhm.
if you're a visual learner, you might need those post-it notes to
Yeah.
remind you to do those things to encourage you and hype you up. But if you're somebody who's auditory, maybe you need a friend to keep you
Or you need
accountable.
your mom to keep telling you.
Do what?
Or you need your mom to keep telling you that. Well, like when we
Yeah.
were kids, when mom says something, we don't really do it actually.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it
mom.
has the opposite effect. We're talking about me, it definitely has the opposite effect. But, sorry, mom, if you're listening to this.
We love you.
Yes, I love you. But, I like to find out things my own way.
Everyone are like that, huh? Cause like we are, yeah, we want to learn
Yeah,
our ways, and there's a saying in Thai. I don't know if in English has that, but the meaning along this is like um the adults have been through all the experiences, so it's better for you to learn from them, so then you don't have to go through the same process. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't have that if you have these idioms in English or not, but
uh,
it's kind of true actually. But
yeah,
then still, me, who are very strong-headed when I was young, so I was like,
mhm,
oh, I'm not gonna listen to you. I know it's dangerous, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna risk it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So luckily, I was conscious enough to pull myself out from whatever that it was distracting me,
mhm,
bad habits, like you said. 'Cause when we were young, I enjoyed a lot going out, partying, drinking. And the past 2 years, I have drank only like 6 times, and
yeah,
that's like it was impressive, So I already decreasing the bad habits that it was enjoyable to do, but now I have the reason why I not do it. and I still go out, but you don't have to drink anymore, you know.
Yeah.
If you find the right reasons, I think anything is possible for you to continue doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much easier when things align with your core values and beliefs, and you
Mm.
know exactly where you stand in terms of internal and external motivation. Because then you, if you know what motivates you, you can. It's a
Yeah.
little bit easier to incentivize that, right? You have
Mhm.
your cue, but you know exactly why you feel good about it because you
Mhm.
know your values and beliefs because
Yeah.
it aligns.
Mhm.
And then it's easier to respond because it is completely there for you
Mm.
when you're thinking about it in a sense of internal and external motivation. So
Yeah.
I think all those things in combination make sense.
Mhm.
Um, as
What,
far
what, 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 what if, okay, this is maybe the question from the audiences. Um, I cannot break this bad habits. What would you suggest them? Because we were
okay,
saying that you can do it, you know, it's because you have to know your core value. How do they actually get to the point of understand themselves and know their true self? What would you suggest them to do?
okay. So when it comes to that, I would first think about your point of frustrations. So
Mm-hmm.
when you're feeling negative emotions, right? When you're feeling negative emotions, then try to identify what the reverse of that emotion is, because that's kind of where you're falling short, right? It's you don't feel fulfilled enough, and that's why you feel the need to act out or maybe have a habit that's replacing that lack of emotion or value.
Mm-hmm.
And then create a list of the core values and values that you do find important to you. What is important to you? And from those things, identify maybe the top 5 and prioritize them. So know exactly where you stand on what is important to you. Not something that's urgent, not like my workplace, needs this X item by Friday. That's not important. That's urgent. Important is something that's important to you on a personal level. And then write out all your goals or your habits and try to see which value does that really align with. When you've done that, then you know which habits will actually stick and which will not. And coming to the whole question that Queenie asked, right, of bad habits, you can see where that bad habit falls on your spectrum of values and beliefs. And know that you will mess up. When you're trying to build a habit, you will mess up. But bad habits itself, they're not going to necessarily get eliminated. It's more about replacing them.
Mm-hmm.
So try to find other habits that are manageable to do long
Yeah.
term that match those values and beliefs. I just had you write. Hopefully you followed that exercise. And if you didn't, pause, go and do that exercise. And if you didn't catch all that exercise, it is also in my book, which I'll try to make sure that we link it down below so you have a copy. And just follow along those steps. And when you find a habit that's manageable, that matches those core values you have, you can replace it with that bad habit. So, for example, for me, when I was younger, I used to drink an obscene amount of milk. And to some people, that's not really a bad habit, but I was drinking maybe 3 tall glasses of milk with every meal. Doesn't matter what it was, even if milk isn't something you should be drinking, like with curry.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, I know I'm Indian. I don't eat curry every day, but like, when I was having it at the time, I was drinking an obscene amount of milk. And then I went to college and I thought to myself, why don't I just try water? Because I don't really like the milk that I didn't like the flavor of the milk that the university had. Because
Aha.
I was so used to drinking the same kind of beverage every day.
Yes.
So I drank water and it blew my mind how easy it was to replace that habit, and I didn't even miss it. So
Yes.
sometimes it's
Because
so
you didn't have it.
easy. Yeah, it's so
Bad
easy
brand.
to take a
Yeah.
bad habit and make it a good one
Mm-hmm.
if you just make the small changes and you can identify how you can change that. So,
Mm-hmm.
another thing I think we'll close out soon, but one last thing I'll add is also if you're feeling negative emotions, and I'm sure we'll like Queen and I will do a whole episode on this as well, just how to get through negative emotions. But negative emotions, when you feel it associated with a bad habit, try to deconstruct that. So
Mhm.
don't just try to replace that bad habit, try to talk yourself out of it. And how
Yeah.
you can do that is by using words that are a lot less or that are a lot more muted in nature. So don't say I'm angry, say
Yeah.
I'm peeved. I'm not having the greatest time. I think I've been better.
Yeah.
And
But
when you're
better reasons. Yes.
yeah, that will also really help in just kind of toning things down for you a notch.
Mm. Yeah, just before we leave, since we mentioned about emotions, I just want to add just a little bit. Maybe it would be useful for our listeners.
Mhm.
Um, what I did with my previous practice on emotions is that whenever I feel the emotion, then I will identify it, like you were saying. But by identify it, I need to really understand the reason behind it. Like
Mhm.
um, I'm upset, but I got upset because of one specific thing, but then I stay upset the whole day. So
Yeah.
then, but I didn't realize that until the end of the day. So then I have to think back what really was the first string that pulled this upsetness inside of me. And then once I figure it out, then I would be like, okay, it's in the past because the minutes has passed already, right? So
Mhm.
then you look forward. Yeah. And then instead of, because emotion is also habits, that's how I see it, right? If you
Mhm.
continually feed yourself with negative emotions, then you're gonna keep having this upset and depressions and those negative feelings within you. Yeah, so to avoid that, then you have to sit with it, but not to run away from it. Some people they crave for sweet chocolates, or eat junk food, or sometimes even the good things like exercise, but they overly exercise just to numb the feelings in the spiritual way.
Yeah.
Think it's not the such a right way because you have to really understand, and then you kind of unfold it a little bit by bit and exchange, like you say, with the better positive habits. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Well,
That was quite a topic, huh?
yeah, yeah. Well, that really wraps it up for today, too. For those of you that are watching, again, if you enjoy this episode, be sure to let us know, give us some love, hit the like button, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're always in the know when we have new content. And of course, our socials are listed on this video if you
Yeah.
are watching the video format.
Mhm.
Be sure to give us a follow, and we'll see you next time on the next
Yeah.
episode of Inspire Here.
Yeah. And also, it's important for us, if you get to share your stories, because your stories inspire us as well. Yeah. So we will be seeing you.